Tesla has finally given its best-selling car a feature the rest of the EV industry has been shipping for half a decade. And it did it strangely quietly through an $80 accessory, as in 80 US dollars, or maybe about 120 Australian dollars. Anyhow, the vehicle to load feature is now live on the Model Y Premium in the United States and will be soon in other countries as well. Today, I'll tell you what it does, what the catch is, and why Tesla is still playing catch up on something it should be leading. But first, before I do that, I should mention that some Tesla Model Ys already come standard with this feature. Here's the news. Tesla has switched on vehicle to load for the Model Y Premium, meaning the all-wheel drive version, letting owners pull 2.4 kilowatts out of the battery at 120 volts and 20 amps. You need Tesla's outlet adapter, which is 80 US dollars, which is a reasonable price. Guys, considering I've got an MG one back here, which they charged me $250 for. That's Australian dollars. So about 150 US dollars, 160 US dollars approximately. In other words, Tesla's adapter is half the price of MG's. Doesn't make sense, but anyway. You can buy it, by the way, from the Tesla store, and it's the same adapter that Cybertruck owners got back in April 2025, and it was already compatible with the Model Y Performance and the 6-seat Model Y L. So Model Y Performance, 6-seat Model Y L, they already have vehicle to load, but it's the lower variants that haven't had it until now. Now, this isn't an outlet built into the car like you get with a Hyundai or a Kia. The adapter actually clips onto the end of the Gen 3 mobile connector, so you need that. The charging cable that sells for around 300 US dollars. That's roughly 460 Australian dollars, and that's the price for that cable on its own. Plug the connector into the charge port, fit the adapter on the other end, and you've got 2 household outlets. That's enough to run a fridge, a coffee machine, power some tools on a job site, camping gear, or a Starlink dish. Genuinely useful stuff, I think, and cheaper than any decent portable power station. And a lot bigger, obviously. On the Electric Viking website, I'll put a link in the description below. We have more articles about electric cars and battery technology than any other website that I'm aware of in the world. So check that out. Link is in the description. And there you'll find our videos and analysis and articles about everything going on in the EV world. But there's a catch. Only recently built Model Y Premiums have the required bi-directional hardware, which is strange. Early Juniper cars and everything before them miss out. And plenty of owners are logging into their Tesla accounts right now and finding that their car is flagged as incompatible. The cheaper Model Y Standard and the entire Model 3 range are excluded too for some strange reason. Here's the uncomfortable comparison. 2.4 kilowatts is the entry-level number in 2026. A lot of EVs have more than 2.4 kilowatts standard. So Hyundai has offered 3.6 kilowatts on the Ioniq 5 since 2021, with the adapter in the box, the BYD C-Line 7 and the Zeekr 7X, a car I know quite well. Both deliver 3.3. The new XPeng G6 does 6. Ford's F-150 Lightning does 9.6 through real outlets in the tray and the front. So Tesla is kind of arriving last here on this feature with the least power, not the least, there's some with lower than this, but not far off the least, and it's charging extra for the plug. For a company that sells power walls and runs virtual power plants, that's kind of a strange position to be in. Don't get me wrong, I think Tesla is leading in other facets by a mile, particularly for self-driving. But since Tesla's own PowerShare page still says home backup is not available on any Model Y, well, yeah. Home backup unfortunately remains a Cybertruck exclusive at 11.5 kilowatts. In other words, vehicle to grid backing up your home. You can get that for the Cybertruck, but technically not for any other Teslas. Though Tesla vehicles do work with SIG Energy's DC to DC charger. So you can use that for vehicle to grid, and people do that in Australia. For Australia, there's no confirmed date for Model Y Premium adapters yet, but Tesla already sells it here for the Model Y L. It's 145 Australian dollars, about 94 US dollars. So I'd expect it to come pretty soon for the Model Y long range all-wheel drive in Australia. Look, credit where credit's due. Putting vehicle to load on Tesla's volume seller, not just the Halo trims, is a good move. And 80 US dollars for a 2.4 kilowatt power source is actually good value. But when a 5-year-old Ioniq 5 outpowers a brand new Model Y, you've got to ask why the world's most valuable car company took so long to ship the basics. And, it should have done this a long time ago, to be fair. Tell me in the comments, though, what do you think? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Tesla's factory in Shanghai just did something it's never done this before. It just exported 66,330 cars in a single month. That's the biggest single month of exports in the factory's history, beating the previous record of 54,500 set way back in October of 2022. That's a big difference, guys. That's an increase of 143% on the same month last year, and it's up 83% on June alone. So how are they doing this? Because I mean, going from 54,000 all-time record to 66,000 all-time record seems pretty insane. Now, you'd think, what? It must be because people in China aren't buying Teslas, but it's not the case. Here's what makes this interesting. In that same month, Tesla delivered 27,250 cars to Chinese customers. That was down 33% year on year and down 48% from June. So that is 2 months in a row of declines in China. So whilst those numbers in China have declined, they haven't declined anywhere near as much as Tesla's growth in exports. If you put those two numbers side by side, you get the real story. Exports made up 71% of everything Tesla China wholesaled in July. 7 out of every 10 cars built in Shanghai left the country. And because of that, Tesla China's total wholesale number, 93,600 vehicles, was its strongest July ever in history, up at 38%. The factory is busier than it has ever been. It's just not building as many of those cars for China anymore. And part of that reason, guys, is not actually because Tesla's China sales are crashing. They're not. It's because the entire car market in China is crashing. Need expert advice on what car to buy, what solar system to get, what home battery to get, or potentially for your business? You can get, guys, a one-on-one consultation directly with me, 60 minutes of tailored guidance. This might help you avoid making a huge mistake spending money when you shouldn't, or potentially save you a massive amount of money. Click the link in the description below because I can assist you, and why not? The link is in the description. Thinking about getting solar, a home battery, or an EV charger? Check out Australia's best free comparison tool because it could save you a lot of money, guys. Click on the link below in the description and you can see how much you can save. Alternatively, give Resync a call. They are the guys who installed my battery and my home solar. I'll put a link to them as well in the description.